We care so much about what other people think. Oh, if I don't have that car anymore and I have to sell it, what are they going to think? If I don't do real estate anymore, everybody's going to know that I didn't work out for me. Like, stop caring about what other people think. It's about you and the people that you have an impact on, and keep going.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Journey Podcast by Collect the Closers. I am your host, Jose Alvarez, and today our special guest is Christopher Moreno. He is a mortgage loan officer here to share with us how do you discover what side of the business is for you. Is it being a realtor or being a mortgage loan officer? So I cannot wait for you guys to hear this episode, and don't forget to share with your friends and family. And welcome to another episode of the Journey Podcast by Collect the Closers. We have our special guest today, Chris Moreno. I'm really excited to have this guy here with us today, especially because we're business partners. So, not only that, Chris, you're actually the first mortgage professional that we have in the podcast. So the bar needs to be set in a place that is going to be hard to beat, and I know that you could definitely do that. I know you personally. We get to see each other almost every day, share a lot of good stories together. I've learned a lot from you. So I mean, take it for what it's worth on my end, man. You have honestly changed my life. So I cannot wait for other people to hear your story and also see how we can help them with whatever we can, change their lives as well, right?
For sure.
Cool. Well, let's get started, man. First things first, introduce yourself a little bit so that way people can get to know you, where you come from. I always like to start with this joke, especially in our industry. Were you born already with your mortgage license as soon as you pop out of the belly, or what happened? How did that happen to get into your life?
No. So when I was born, I did not have my mortgage license. I was a little bit of a mess all the way up until probably 25, 26, 27. Got in the industry about 2009. Right now I do mortgages, been doing mortgages since, and in the real estate game, and kind of just, have now gotten into real estate investing as a whole. Like in your questionnaire, it says, what do you kind of do? Real estate investing, no matter what that means to people. So just creating wealth through real estate and whatever that means.
Nice, nice. So okay, so you say you were kind of like a mess. Now, again, knowing you personally, this is a little bit. I don't want to say challenging, but really interesting because there's a side of me that I know that I feel a lot of people don't know, which is a good thing, by the way. I've always admired you. I've always admired the way you do business. I've always admired you from a personality standpoint, from your character. I mean, there's a lot of just great things about you that I've always admired. I just feel like, especially how I know you personally, people do not know you that well. You're like, in my opinion, you're like Batman, dude. Like, they only see the Chris, but then there's the other side of who you really are as a person, which again is a good human being. So when you're saying that you're a mess, I mean, what does that even mean? Because I personally don't even believe it.
Yeah. So when I was young, and when I say young, I say, out of high school, right? I'm one of four kids. I'm the only one that didn't go to college.
Okay.
Okay. I tried the college thing, flunked out, went to Cal State Long Beach for one semester, flunked out, decided to get out of college because I had passed a class and
Okay.
I didn't learn one thing. I basically cheated my way through it, and passed. I'm like, why am I spending money to not learn anything? I'm going to get my degree. So got out of college, started living at that time. My brother and I bought a house, lost that house. And when I say I was kind of a mess up until about 26, 27, kind of where I got in the mortgage industry, I wasn't motivated like I am now. I didn't have this like mission in life to change people's lives. I was just kind of floating by. I was living with my brother, uh, paying rent when I can, partying. Not a ton of partying, like going out and clubbing and all that, but just drinking when I wanted to, being hungover, not working out and not wanting to work out, even though I don't much now. Just no drive to like be something great. That's what I mean kind of by being a mess, not having a North Star that you kind of know as I am now, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I was kind of like a deadbeat a little bit. Had deadbeat jobs, I was a
Wow.
server. Not that that's a deadbeat job, but I had no goal to get any further.
S-
So It just changed.
So it was like, oh, we'll see what happens tomorrow type of thing. That's what you mean by
Yeah, it
that.
will see what happens. Like I was a server making good money. It was fun. I get to drink, while I'm chatting with people, at the restaurant. It's like, who knows what tomorrow brings, and I'm not on a giant mission to change people's lives. I'm just living every day.
So okay, so this is from year what to year what? Like how old were you when this was happening?
Probably 2009. So I bought my first house in '06. So from '06 to like 2008 or 9.
Okay, okay. So you say you lost that first house, and you were still not on your path of business ownership. You were just you buy your first home, how like just by
Yeah, I bought
accident?
my first home. I bought my first home. A buddy of mine was in the industry. I worked at Costco at the time. Fully stated loan, no down payment. I had decent credit at that time, right? My
Yeah.
brother and I buy it with an 80-20 loan, nothing out of pocket. And here's what tells you where I was in life. My brother saw the house before I did, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, bro, I found our house." I'm like, "No way." He's like, "It's got a bar built into the living room." I'm like, "Say less,
Sold.
dude. Like, let's do it. Let's sold." And that bar was fun for the next few years. But we had the mortgage. We owned a home. We were cool. I worked at Costco. All my buddies and friends would come over. My brother's buddies and friends would come over, and we were a party pad. We were single, and but we ended up losing the house. We were paying a mortgage and paying interest only, like a lot of people in that day. And then the market collapsed. The home wasn't worth anything, and we did cash for keys and left the house.
Wow. So you're still not in mortgages when this happened. You're not nowhere near thinking of real estate or none of that stuff. You're just
No, no.
okay. So then tell me how that happened. Then how is it that you go from not having a North Star or not having your mission, and then for you saying, you know what, let me now get into real estate. Who forced you into it, or who convinced you to think this was the better way?
Yeah, so a buddy of mine that got me in the house initially, he was doing mortgages. Worked with him for a few years. He got me in the industry. At the time, I was in construction, got laid off, and collected unemployment for as long as I can. And my buddy's like, "Hey, dude, you're good with people. Why don't you come over and join this sales side of things?" And I loved it. Now, one of the reasons why I got in, right? My buddy obviously got me in, but two things. One, I got in my bad loan, walked away, learned a lot from that. Cash for keys, and I was negotiating. We ended up getting $3,000 to leave. Like people were getting 10 or 15 grand, right? On top of that, my parents lost their home, and before I had given my home back to the bank, so to say, my parents were living in the house because my brother had moved out at the time. So they were living with me. They moved out of their house. They were trying to do a loan modification. And someone said, "Hey, we're helping, we're helping, we're helping." One day comes and some paperwork's on the door, and it's like, "This home isn't yours anymore." And the tenants at the time told my dad, whether in person or on the phone, like, "Hey, bro, you ain't the owner anymore." Like they thought they were all cool, right? So going through that, where my dad thought he was trying to save his home, doing a loan mod, someone was trying to help him, lost the house, and then I lost mine. That was my fault, right? That was kind of my thing as well. Like, let me educate people to get in the industry. I'm sorry, to buy homes, fully educate them, be completely transparent, be a real advocate for home buyers and clients, because in that time it was the wild wild west, bro. Like a lot of people were doing bad loans, and just because bad loans are there and you make a lot of money in them doesn't mean you should do them. But people were doing it and making tons of money.
Okay, cool. So then you start learning the mortgage industry. Someone that it goes from what am I gonna drink this weekend to now adapting into business. What was the biggest challenge of that? That's because I'll tell you, man, and I know that it sounds like I'm over here promoting you too much, but I'm really not. You really are a person and individual that I have seen in different phases of even my own business, and it's really hard for me to believe that at one point you were not as you could say disciplined or as you could say as looking for a specific word, because my thing is that you care so much about people around you that I believe you do a lot because of the people that are around you for them. Like you do for people as much as you would want someone to do for you. And it's really hard for me to find people that have not been like that their whole entire life. So how did business change you, or did business help you evolve to this person you are now, or what happened?
No, I've always been that person like giving, right? And really caring about people. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my dad used to take us down to LA, and he called them the cardboard condos, to see people that were living on the streets and say, listen, you can end up here, right? Now, seeing that, I always wanted to give back, right? So I always had this heart in me to give back. I think I wanted to go make like burritos to give to the homeless, right? So I've always had this desire in it. But um, when I got into the industry, like your question, one of the toughest parts was going to 100% commission,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
I was young, so fortunate I didn't have a ton of bills. Um, and two was having the support of people around you, because when you get into a business, or real estate and mortgage is really starting your own business, and it's a business of one. Having
Yeah.
the support of people around you, I borrowed money from people. I lived with people rent free. I was building a business. So having the support of people around you, like, no shade on my parents. My parents have always supported me, but at one point I'm collecting the employment, don't have a ton of money, probably borrowed a bunch of money from them. They're like, how long are you going to give this? Because you're not making a bunch of money and it's 100% commission. Like, when are you going to go get a real job?
Oh,
Right?
really?
Like, hey, at 26, 27, like, we should be on this progression of what you kind of want to do in life. And I'm at a job getting paid $0 an hour.
Hmm.
You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So having that support around me was kind of tough at times, seeing through it. At that time I was in a relationship, and right before I got in the industry, the person I was with was like kind of on that journey of the normal path, right? What college are you going to? Then you graduate. Are you going to get your master's? And then what job are you going to get? Like, that really, like, what industry, pension, and like all that stuff. And I went the opposite route. I'm like trying to find myself, trying to find my way, finding myself to 100% commission jobs, starting my own businesses, so to say. And not everybody wants to sign up for that. It's a
Nope.
burden on people around you. Like, and it being in a relationship, a significant other wants to see, like, hey, is this going to pay off? Is this guy going to support me? Is this guy going to be able to provide the life I want? And looking at it back then, I wouldn't have bet on me. But, now me, like the drive I have, I know it's going to work, right? Go up and down, but the confidence I have that it's going to work is unmatched. You know what I mean? So yeah, those are a few of the struggles, is going through that type of stuff.
And how does someone gets that confidence to feel like this is it? And I shared this in the past with in another episode where when I had my full time job and then decided to go on the journey of becoming a business owner in real estate, I will have nightmares of me going back to work because that's how much you don't want to, right? But how do you buy? Is the fear gone? Did you turn it off or what happened?
No, the fear's not gone. The fear's still here. But as you go through more and more things in your life, you know that you always pray. If you're that type of person, you end up getting through it. You know what I mean? So number one, as cliche as it sounds, like, you just got to do more things. You got to fail. And then when you fail, you got to have those cheerleaders, so to say, to support you and say, hey, you got this. You're good. You know what I mean? And you have to have other people that are like-minded that are doing that type of thing. So if I'm in the job and I'm in a 100% commission job, I shouldn't be asking someone that works for the city and say, hey, I'm going through this struggle. Like, they don't live the entrepreneur struggle. You got to chat with people and connect with people that are building a business, that have built a business or doing it as well, that maybe even are a little bit further down the 100% commission or entrepreneur path than you, right? So the fear's always there. Just the level of fear just keeps elevating, which is crazy. I'm still fearful sometimes now, right? Like, I now have a bigger overhead than back in the day. So I need to make more money to sustain my lifestyle. But I know I'm 42 now. It's worked out this long. And I've gone through some tough times. I still go through tough times, have some bad months. Sometimes I'm not getting paid for 30, 60 days, but we make it work. Like, we've gotten this far and nothing's happened yet. So I've started to flip it into optimism more and positivity, because I can focus on the positive and say this is going to work, or I can focus on the negative and believe it's not going to work. Which one do I want to believe in? And when you focus on these certain things, you find the outcome to be different. You know what I mean? It's like, when you ask yourself, why am I having a bad day? You will answer that question internally. If you ask myself, or if I ask myself, how am I having a good day? I will answer that question accordingly. So just seeing things from a positive standpoint and knowing at this point, I now have way more people that have my back then, right? So the confidence comes, but there's still fear. We all have it.
So if you're someone that is thinking about getting into the business, and with our community, collective closures, we truly believe that when people hear, first of all, when people hear collective closures, they think is we're talking about closing deals, closing people, selling things. And really, what we're trying to say is collecting closing is like, how do we close ourselves? Like, because we really truly believe that's where the beginning of whatever you're trying to get into, that's where it starts, closing you. So if you're a person that is thinking of leaving their full-time job or thinking of entertaining, building their own business, how can someone get their part? How can someone start closing themselves, believing in themselves, apart from getting into a community? Is there something special that you have done or discovered along the way that can share or pass it on to someone else that might be thinking of doing the same?
Yeah. So we've all had to go through a lot of reinventing of ourselves, so get mentorship, get guidance. Mentorship for me in the past and still is podcasts. If you're not on a journey to develop yourself and become better, like this may not be for you. That's okay. I think a lot of people want to get into these type of industries and it's not for everybody. Like I've learned that. Like I wish everybody was built for entrepreneurship and I wish everybody was built for lending and real estate, but it's not the case. So find what you like, what you're good at, and if you really enjoy it, don't just do it for the money. I'm saying? A lot of people get in this industry for the money and you can make great money, but if you don't like it, like it's just, it ain't going to sustain itself. You're going to be a person that makes a lot of money and you're not going to be happy. And the people around you ain't going to be happy. You're going to be making them unhappy. So, find guidance, find people who are doing it. There's a lot of people like yourself, like myself, people that are willing to share. Not everybody is, right? But, and be dedicated to it. Like I can't tell you how many times people have said, I want to get in mortgage, right? And I say, sweet, I'm in the office 5 days a week. Why don't you come down? Sweet. Try to come down. And essentially, uh, they come down to the office for a day, 2 days, 3 days, and then they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see them again, don't hear from them again. Like you got to be dedicated if you really want to get into something that's 100% sales and building your own business. You know what I mean?
And it's interesting because I think you and I have had a few conversations around that, right? When we try to help people and we try to guide people on if finding themselves within this industry. And I think apart from that, you said something that I started thinking of some of the conversations we've had in the past. What has been one of the biggest lessons that you feel that you have learned along the way as you getting into the business?
One of the biggest lessons that we can probably accomplish more than what we think.
Mm.
I had to reinvent myself in 2017 when we started the More Group. And that was scary, right? I was working for my buddy at the time.
Hmm.
He got me in the industry, taught me a lot. And when you have that mentor and that relationship, that's the person you go to for certain questions. Now starting over and reinventing myself, I'm going to be the person that people come to for questions, right? I can't lean on anybody else. It's like, dude, you're starting your own thing. Um, you'll get through it. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be okay. And it's okay to make mistakes. Like it's not gonna kill you. It's not gonna, you're not gonna lose the most important people that should be in your life. It's okay if people come in and out of your life. So I think the ultimate lesson is you got this and it's ultimately gonna be okay, assuming you put in the work and you're strengthening this. You know what I'm saying?
And now you're speaking of this from a leadership standpoint. At one point, you were a solo lender, right? Like how was your specific journey? You came into the industry, you started working alongside people, your buddy, right? And then from there, you started doing loans on your own, or how did that transition happen for you?
Yeah, started doing, as you have a mentor in any type of industry and business, you support them, you're their assistant. Then at some point you fly, right? You fly on your own. Um, but we're still collectively in the branch and the location doing business together. So I become my own self-producing loan officer. Um, and pros and cons and going up and down and moving companies and stuff like that. Become my own self-producing loan officer. And when I was in the branch at one time, I'm just that guy. I try to help people. I try to, I was the guy that people, because of my personality, I guess they come to me for questions and answers. And if I don't know the answer, I'll tell them. Or if I said, hey, I've lost a home before, like I'm really open about things, no matter what it is. You ask my credit score, I'll tell you. You ask how much money I have in the bank, I'll tell you. Like I'm very transparent. So I would be very, very helpful. So indirectly, I was helping the team, started helping the team with the branch, right? So I was already starting to do that informally. Then a job title came and said, hey, you're doing this already. Why don't you be so and so manager, whatever we want to call it? All right, sweet. Um, and then just progress. I'm like, cool, I like this. I like helping people. Like we get a kick out of it, right? It's kind
Yeah.
of selfish, but unselfish when you help people succeed and help them do whatever, or help someone fix a flat tire on the side of the road. Yeah, we helped them, but then we also feel good. Like, dude, that's cool. I was able to help somebody. So from there, started the More Group in 2017 after I was already helping people that weren't necessarily on my team, right? We were just a team together, but I would help out, not getting really compensated for it. Turned into a little compensation for a short time. And then 2017 started the More Group, and now I oversee the team. Like this is our team. I always hate to say my team because it was collectively our team. They decided to be on the team. So, but yeah, I've just always kind of had that, kind of Papa Bear, so to say, oversee people. As funny as when I would go out and be at clubs, I was the guy that's looking out for other people. Everybody cool, like, "Hey, you need a drink?" Like it was just in me. So I don't know if people have that innate in them early on, but yeah.
So the More Group, that's when I met you. So I met you around that time, and I got to tell you, man, I honestly think that you should create a playbook about this. And if you're a loan officer, like I'm gonna tell you something, this guy, and I will always recommend if you are in the lending business. Which, by the way, I have a follow up question to you in a little bit that I'm excited to hear your thoughts on. But as a lender, I meet him. He has this teams around. Everyone's really likable. Everyone's really approachable. Uh, I remember that I asked you on social media. I think you had like a piece of bread, conchitas with the heart or something like that. And I saw that you posted because it was like, was it like
Valentine's or something.
Valentine's Day, right? Yeah, Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
right? And my wife at the time, she we were in the dating stage, and I know she liked conchitas, and especially because it had the heart. And I said, "Hey, where'd you buy those? I want to get some of them." And then you had him deliver at the office, I think within like an hour or two or so. I thought that was super cool. And the thing is that you and I were not even doing business together. Yes, I was working with someone that was part of your team and all, but me and you have never really connected that much. And even
Yeah.
beyond that, we didn't even, I think for a second, even I started working with another loan officer, and then at the time I think you never really approached me for a business, which I thought was a little different. I'm like, oh, that's strange. And then when I wanted to get into the lending industry and understand how to be able to apply that into the arm of business that we have now, you were the first person that I thought about, in the sense of like, who can give me some advice? Again, not even thinking about doing business with you yet, which is kind of interesting. I was like, you know what? Who can I ask that can give me some real conversation advice and see where it goes from here? And now look at this, we're working together, which is kind of cool. But okay,
Yeah.
so my question to you is, knowing the type of energy you carry, and I say that in the sense of, for the most part, real estate agents, they tend to want to be the front line or trying to like attack the situations. What made you decide from real estate or lending? And that's, I think this is a question that I'm gonna keep asking every loan officer, because I'm in this stage that I'm trying to find out what happens. Why? Because the industry is so alike but yet different, and I'm trying to find out the formula. Like, how do you point out, okay, this person will be a great law officer, this person will be a great realtor? So what happened to you? Why did you decide to go on the mortgage side and not be a realtor?
So there's a couple different facets to that. Now, I played sports. I was a quarterback, right? I feel people might disagree with this, but once the deal's in escrow, you're the quarterback. You touch the ball every play. It's all on you because you already opened escrow, you found the home. Who do they call every day? If someone were to call for an update every day, right? And it be the correct person. Let's say we have a transaction together, uh, and you have the buyer, I'm their lender, right? And I met them through you, Jose, right? They're going to call you for an update. Who are you going to call for an update? Me, right? Escrow gets called for an update. They're going to call me. They call the listing agent for an update. They're going to call me. I like the responsibility of like and maybe that's ego, maybe that's selfish as well, but I like that, right? Like I want the responsibility on me. Like I tell people in this industry, if you want to make big bucks, big dollars, you got to be willing to make big calls. You got to be willing to make big decisions. Like there's got to be a lot of responsibility on you. So I like that aspect of it. Now go all the way back to seventh, eighth grade, right? I've always been good at math. So was it destined already, right? I used to take math classes in the summer, believe it or not, at summer school. Now, I wasn't required to go to summer school, but I was trying to advance in my math because I was so good at it. I was taking like all these courses way ahead of time. So was that it? Um, the main thing, back to the question, I tried real estate in 2009. When my buddy got me in the industry, he was a lender. We used to meet clients. He's like, hey, dude, go show homes. I used to drive around. That's when people got in your car, right? Go show homes. I didn't have a license. I've never had a real estate license. So I used to write it under my old business partner's uncle's license. Now I used to have to handwrite contracts because I didn't have the programs for it. And I don't even know if they were around. I used to have to call them for the code because we used to have this little key to get into the MLS keys or super keys. So it was really difficult, but it was fun. I get to show them the homes, but then I pass off the responsibility to other people. I'm like, I want the responsibility, right? On top of that, you go show homes. That's really cool. It's very similar day to day. You're in different cities. You negotiate. I like the critical thinking. Everybody's loan scenario is completely different. I've got to figure stuff out. I've got to troubleshoot. I missed something on the credit report. What the heck am I going to do? I've got a deal right now that we've been working on for quite some time. And I just got some bad news today. Like, we can't do the loan. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I like that responsibility and the stress, and I'm going to figure it out. I already know. So I like all that critical thinking and working on people's financials because how many people, for you, Jose, how many people have seen your tax returns? Not many people, right? Your tax preparer, maybe the wife. Other than that, nobody. I'm looking at people's finances that nobody ever gets to see and educate them on something. So I like that. And I felt that that was my calling on the mortgage side, just being able to do more of that strategy stuff and figure it out, the numbers and the loans. And then, every scenario is completely different.
You know, I'll agree with you. I think that from a standpoint of a loan officer, I really think that is key to know, in my opinion, now being more involved in the business as well, that the loan officer can, at the end of the day, have more control over even the success of a realtor. And that's something that not a lot of people talk about. But I truly believe that there's something there that a lot of loan officers are missing out, because from this perspective, now I'm like, as a realtor, when you start building a team, you're in charge of realtors. Well, as a loan officer, technically you're in charge of realtors too. If you know how to give back the right way, you can make an impact in a lot of people's lives. So no, 100%, 100%, I can see that. I can see what you mean. Okay, so now you started building the team, then now you're overseeing the company. Tell me what's your vision now, your role now in the business, the different perspectives that you have now, because now you're leading a company. What's the difference from now and then?
Now and then, meaning like now helping run the company as opposed to just a team.
Yeah, like opposed to just a team running a company. I know that the responsibility is bigger. At the same time, though, what are some of the things that are the biggest challenges, and also things that you are also seeing that are exciting in how you're doing business now?
Yeah. So the biggest challenges in any business, I think, are always going to be the people side of things, right? We want the best for people as leaders. We want them to work their butt off. We want them to do all these things and have these big giant goals, but it's up to them, right? So the people aspect of the business is tough. Now, right now, we've been in a downturn of the market for quite some time, right? It's been a tough few years. I heard a podcast yesterday saying for the last 4 years, it's been horrible. Now the people that are like veterans are even getting out. And if you're still in it, like you almost got it, but people are getting out that really thought this would be over with already. This is my first downturn. Like the worst year I had since 2009, since I got in, was I think about a year and a half ago, right? So the market is a difficult part. When the market tightens up, we got to let people go. People get out of the industry. So yeah, I think just the people side of business, attitudes, is just a difficult part. Even if you're just on the day-to-day realtor or loan officer, you deal with difficult people, and you got to be willing to manage these other people that are counting on a check when you close the deal. Down to operations and having employees, it's tough dealing with everybody's personalities and what they've got going on, and they're stressed or in a bad mood, or they got stuff to do and they got to get off early, like all these things. So I think the people side has always been difficult, and me wanting the best for people, seeing people leave the team has always been hard for me, right? Like I want them to stay, I want them to call our company their place to call home, and sometimes they leave, and that's okay. As long as we keep a good relationship and respectful, we're all solid. So that's kind of been the challenges. What was the second part to it?
Well, I think the biggest thing is running a team to running a company. Is there, of course, there's more responsibility and those challenges that you share, but is there a space of more, you could say, gratitude towards you? Like, do you feel better about what you're doing now, and how is that different from just running a team to now building a company?
The main difference I noticed, like as soon as we started Viewpoint, right? When you're building a team and running a team, you can kind of run it wild west, right? You're under a different umbrella. You're under a real estate brokerage or a lending brokerage or lending company. When you're starting to build a team, you think differently. You think compliance. You think HR. You think, like, I'll give you a perfect example. As silly as this is, back in the More Group days, I used to take some shots in the office on a Friday, right? Like that was cool. The sales team would get together, and maybe after 5 p.m. we're cool, we're chopping it up. Or maybe if it was early, like having some beers or something. Like that's got to change when your mission is now a company. Now people like and people were looking up to us, at the More Group, whoever were the leaders of the company at that time, right, or the team. But now it's different. Like when you're building a team and building a company has different layers than a team has. You know what I mean? And a team will never really probably have their own HR, but as soon as you think company, you got HR. You got people's time off. They're required to have a lunch. If they're pregnant, there's required to be a room, to breastfeed, and all these things I never thought of running a team. So as a salesperson, we think a sales thing and just go, 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 go. As soon as it turns to company, you're like, you got to think different compliance wise. So that was probably the biggest thing for me to come to terms with.
Hey, there's Jose Alvarez. I hope you're enjoying the Journey podcast by Collect the Closers. Many entrepreneurs are always messaging me about how do I backbite my time? And that's where our favorite sponsor comes into the picture, Q4 Workspace. If you're looking for system support, executive assistants, editors, graphic designers, cold callers, basically anyone that can help you backbite your time and really enjoy the freedom of your business, they're the people to call. Not only can they find the right support, but they can also train and create an operating system that will give you your time back and help you grow your business along the way. So make sure that you go to q4workspace.com or just hit the link below so you can grab more information and start enjoying life a little bit more and not letting go of your business.
So what's I want to touch a little bit on your social media, and the reason why is because it's been really exciting to me to see that from you just doing, you could say, mortgage content to now mixing in a little bit of your personal life, and also doing a little bit more of like the company, you could say, culture into social media. Is there a reason why you feel like you're getting more involved in that? You feel like it's gonna help the overall picture of the company, or if you're a loan officer hearing this, what are some advice that you can share with people on branding and anything else that you can connect with social media and companies and building a team?
Yeah. So when it comes to branding and social media, like I've gone through my journey, right? Thanks to Min Nguyen, what's a mortgage? If you don't follow him, give him a follow. He helped me with my first video that went viral. When that video went viral, I started getting tons of followers. I had 2,000, 3,000 at that time. Now I have, I think, 20 or 21,000, all because it started with that one video. I'm like, oh, shoot. I went from 0 leads on Instagram to leads on Instagram. Now, not the best leads, right? But I'm like, this actually works. Now I know why people are on it. Now, that would have never happened if I didn't collaborate with a mentor or someone else that has already done social media. So not feeling like you know everything. This guy showed me, he said, this is the script that went viral for me. Use the same script, be yourself and do it. Did it, and it went viral, right? And he worked at a different mortgage company at the time. So like, it's always been collaborative in my career. It was never, working with you or not working with you in the past. You work with other mortgage companies. I never asked about that. If it came down the road, cool. If not, you were cool to have beer with at the poker event, right? And chop it up when we see you. So collaborated with a different lender from a different company, and he showed me how to do it. Started getting social media following, started putting out more content. I'm like, sweet, this works. Started putting out 3 to 5 videos a week. I didn't want to do it exactly like him. So when it comes to branding, be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not, right? If you're not good at social media and it feels really weird, don't do it. Do a different version of it. If you're not comfortable, talking directly to the camera, be on a conference call. Like, social media isn't for everybody. If you're not good at it and you stumble on camera and you're not willing to get better, find someone else to do it for you that can help you get the leads, right? A daughter, a friend, whoever's comfortable doing it. But I think people need to be on social media. So when it comes to their brand, just be yourself. Don't be someone you're not. And then, back to your question with kind of getting into other things now, like I've started to highlight and bring 2 passions of mine together, right? We've got people are always a passion of me, and people in mortgage. But then I've got this real estate, and like I've got this off-road community that I'm a part of. Now, never did I think to collab the two, but at the end of the day, a couple years ago, I wanted to make some shirts. Like, hey, we all like to go off-roading. This one event we go to every year. Let me make some shirts. Made some shirts, and the guys wanted them. I didn't make them pay for it. Like, if you want to donate, cool. If not, here's the shirts. And I'll remember, I'm always the giving guy. I put all of our company logos on the back of people that were self-employed in our off-road community. Cool, they liked it. All right, sweet. That now morphed into an off-roading brand, Go Off-Roading. Now that morphed into, now I'm doing content while I'm off-roading. So I've brought these 2 communities together, not like I'm always pitching stuff on my off-roading stuff. It's like, hey, on my off-roading page, I tag my personal page, but that's it. I'm not going to collaborate with 2 different posts. So it's really fun seeing my passions, and I'm trying to collab with them. And I now get to occasionally close transactions from the off-road community, right? So don't be scared to collaborate and bring the things together. I have one of our sales team on our sales team, one of our guys, and I'm like, bro, you're always at your kids' functions. You're always at doing these things and playing softball and playing soccer. And like, why would you not be the guy? And he's got a great personality. Bring the ice chest every game. Give out free waters. Give out Coca-Colas. Like, give koozies that say, I love softball. Like, and give it to people. When you give, people start to ask, dude, you're cool, bro. What do you do for a living? Or you just start to have different conversations. So everything we do in life, we can leverage, not super salesy, like, hey, I do mortgages and real estate. What do you? No, just chop it up, be cool with people, be the cool guy at the field, be the cool guy at the community events, wherever you're at. Just get to know people and put a smile on your face, because that will get people to you, and it's inviting. And now you are, meeting more people organically. You know what I mean? I heard a phrase a while back. It's, don't go out to network, right? I'm not going to go and say, hey, I'm going out today. It's Friday or Thursday. I'm going to go network. No. Network while you're out. So if I'm at dinner with my fiance, I'm going to try to meet people. That's all networking is, meeting people, right? So I don't go out to network because it feels really forced. It's like, if I go out to find a date, women can kind of feel that, like, whoa, this guy wants a number. Like, I'm just going out to meet people while I'm already doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
That's really good advice. And it's funny. I think I saw Andrew Tate, I think his name, right? He was saying something about that on social media the other day. Like, why not just be nice to the world and see what the world can provide you, or see what the world has in store for you, or something like that. Hey, funny thing. for whoever's watching, for whoever's hearing this on the Apple Podcast or Spotify, Chris has a purple finger. Show the camera, Chris. So where'd you get that from? I kind of heard you talking to someone, and right now you're talking about off-roading. It was from that, right? From your hobby.
Yeah, yeah, my hobby. So I have a race next week. I'm driving to Kentucky, 2,000 miles. And this morning I stopped by the parts store. I stopped by Harbor Freight. I was opening something with my pocket knife, being stupid. I was cutting towards myself, sliced my finger. I was gonna go get stitches. The guy wanted to give me stitches. I don't have benefits, which is, as silly as it is. 42 years old. I don't have health care. I go to this little clinic by my house, Vita Health Clinic, and I was gonna go buy some glue from CVS. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go to the health clinic. I couldn't get it to stop bleeding. He put some glue on it. He wanted to put stitches. I'm like, I don't want stitches. I have a race next week, so he put some glue on it, and we're good.
So you're ready for the race? I mean, how do you feel? You good or what? Is it
I
is it
be, bro. Like a couple days, it'll be closed up. I'll be driving with gloves, so we're solid.
So make sure that you guys follow Chris for those I'm excited for that, actually, that part of your business, because from someone that has seen you take it off from just strictly, and I'm gonna call it boring business, right? From just because keep in mind, guys, like Chris and I at first we were talking every day, sharing ideas every day, because we were trying to figure out how we were gonna collab together, how we're gonna just make this business partnership, be better. And both of us, I think, have gone through like our own like turbulence and our ups and downs, and we're still trying to make it to the next level and everything. So for me, man, it's been, and I don't think I've ever said this to you in person, but it's been so cool to see it from a distance, like the changes you're doing. And I think the biggest thing though is the inspiration that we bring to each other. And I say this from a stand of whoever's out there listening to this. Look, it might seem like this is a race, like real estate or business is a race. Trust me, it's not. It is. I don't even want to. It sounds funny when people say it's not a race, it's a marathon. I think it's even bigger than that. I don't think there is even a destination. Like, it gets to the point where if you really are building something magical, like if you really are working on just living your life and running your business, I don't know. I don't know about you, man, but for me, like, I don't really see it like it's there's a goal. I mean, there is a goal, right? Like we all want to achieve certain things, but there's no end to this race. Like, it's gonna go on forever until I'm gone. I mean, how do you feel about that? Can you agree with me on that, or do you feel like, hey, one day I cannot wait for me to stop working? How does it work for you?
No, you know what? I'll always be working. It's just at the end of the day, it'll look different. Like you've got those people that, yeah, I'm a firm believer of what you're stating, right? Like it's you just keep going, and we just keep going. You stay on the same mission. Hopefully, the one thing I'd love to inspire in people is just like, you have a mission. We all have a purpose, and it's like, do you want to fulfill it or you not? If you don't, then I don't want to be near you. Like if you're lazy and don't want to do anything in life, like that's okay. Just don't be near me, because I don't want you to bring me down. You know what I'm saying? So, I always tell people, like, I'm not going to retire. It's just going to look different. You know what I mean? I'll be working. I'll be off-roading more, but still working. I'll still be running a business, just less days. Like, my dad is 67, 68 years old. He still works. He works because he has to. But, I see people that are the same exact age not working, and they're deteriorating, right? So I always want to have that challenge and stuff going, and do those things in life that give you butterflies. At 42, I get to race cars recently, and you get a little nervous. Like, we don't do enough things to keep us nervous, to keep us challenged. You know what I mean? So, no, but yeah, you got to keep going. Like you said, it doesn't end till we die. Like, literally, I think of that all the time. Like, you stay in the race. There's no end game here until you're done.
And my thing is, like, you get to live that when you're working alongside people that we have like the same vision of, like, it's not about me. It's about, like, yes, you're gonna be successful. Yes, you're gonna keep track of your goals. Yes, you have you pay your bills and go on vacations and pay whatever it is you got to pay. But at the end of the day, it's like you're in this space, and whoever's listening to this, if you don't have someone around you, I gotta tell you, like, go and look for them wherever. There's more people out there that are. You could say, like, you and I have said this in the past. We're freaking crazy, right? Like, we're just crazy. Like, we think differently. There's more people out there, believe it or not, that are in the same energy. If you want to just find a space where you're just working and living life and really connecting business and pleasure at the same time, there is people that if you do it alongside others, you're not gonna feel that you're drained. Because there's times that I feel like, man, and I go to you, right? It's Chris, like, man, dude, I feel this, and then you give me some feedback back, and then there's other things that like you'll share with me, and I'm like, dude, like, or sometimes we give each other hard feedback, right? Like things that maybe we don't want to hear, but then we think about it when we're on our own, within ourselves, and we're like, yeah, you know what, he's right. Let's make these adjustments. So again, just saying that from a space of like, find your network of people that can guide you through that. And I know with me, you have been that. I hope that I've been the same to you, because that is really the goal. And I mean, more than anything, especially getting you invited to this podcast, I was excited again because of who you are, and I know what a great human being you are. Apart from that, is like seeing your journey is super cool. Knowing the fact that there's a lot more, and I'm sure we're probably gonna have a second podcast sooner than later, and I cannot wait to hear the what do you want to call it, Chris? Chris, not 3.0, 2.0. I don't know. I don't know what number, but because I know there's a lot of major changes that are happening with you right now, and I'm excited for that, man. I'm really excited and grateful for this moment that we have here. Any last things that you may want to share with us, Chris? Anything that you feel that would be great for someone that is getting new into the business to keep in mind, or maybe someone that is thinking of throwing in the towel? Something that you think could be of some help.
Yeah. So if you're new and getting in a business, not even this business, right? Like I said, find people who have been on this journey. Find the right people. Don't ask the person that's had the 9 to 5 W-2 job. Like, ask someone else. They'll give you insight. If you're there and you want to throw in the towel, throwing in the towel is okay, as long as you keep going in another direction. Like throwing in the towel, and let's say throwing in the towel in real estate and lending. If it's too tough, like I've had to temporarily throw in the towel, right? In the mortgage industry, I got out a little bit, still did it part-time, worked at T-Mobile, right? Worked at all these little jobs. It's funny, you worked at T-Mobile as well, and then came back to it knowing I liked it. It's okay throwing in the towel, but be the best version of yourself wherever you're at. You know what I mean? Because you're not throwing in the towel in life. Just because it didn't work in business doesn't mean your life is over. Like, we care so much about what other people think. Oh, if I don't have that car anymore and I have to sell it, what are they going to think? If I don't do real estate anymore, everybody's going to know that I didn't work out for me. Like, stop caring about what other people think. It's about you and the people that you have an impact on, and keep going. And have those people that you can call to pump you up, that make you feel a little bit better, or people that that you don't want to be pumped up, you just want to chat with. Like, have the people, because it's a lonely journey at times. It's a very lonely journey, and if you can have a select 1 or 2, 3 people, it really will change things. But interesting enough, like you asking it, someone that wants to throw in the towel, I feel like most will be like, it's okay, don't throw in the towel, you got this. Well, sometimes you got to throw in the towel temporarily. Like, if you're not making ends meet and it's stressful at home, and your wife is having to work overtime or get 2 jobs, and you're still trying to do real estate, and the kids, like, all these things, it's okay. You will figure it out. You are a hustler. You've got this. Go get another job, or make this a part-time gig and go get the other job to provide for your family. And if you love it, you will come back. Right? We have a coworker, a friend of ours, we both know. He left, did not do loans, came back because he knew he wanted to. And when you leave something, you kind of know, did I love it as much? It's not a human being, which is great. Leaving a business is better than leaving a significant other, because you may not get a second chance with a significant other. leaving what might be your passion in real estate or loans or the business you want to start, if you leave it and you still love it and miss it, you can always come back. You know what I mean? So throwing in the towel isn't bad. Don't care about other people and keep your foot on the gas and know, like, if you've seen The Matrix, an old buddy of mine put me on that movie. I love it. Like, hopefully most of us believe we are the one. We are Neo in our own lives. You are the person that can change other people's lives, and you have been called on, right? For whatever it is you think it is. Live that journey, keep moving. If you need to throw in the towel, do it, but just keep going and be good for the people around you.
Bro, that is gold of advice. I think that sometimes when you have all this pressure on making it happen, that's usually when you probably won't make it happen, because heavy to even do business, heavy to even breathe, heavy to even get up in the morning. It doesn't really sit well with a lot of people. So definitely, I think those words is something that I know. In me personally, I'm going down my list of a lot of people that I know that have left and come back, and they come back stronger than before. I feel like that change of my, or going back to my dream, right? That for me, one of the things that kept pushing me was because I was literally having nightmares of going back to my job. So I was like, I was reliving that every time. But I mean, I think that it is something that can really, really benefit people to know, hey, you know what? It's not over. It's just a pause for a while. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much, man. How can people connect with you if they feeling like throwing in the towel and they need to talk to you a little bit more? Maybe get a one-on-one consultation on being okay with throwing in the towel. How can they connect with you? What's the best way?
Yeah, the easiest way is Instagram. My cell phone number is in my bio. Literally, you can call and text me. I put my cell phone number for anybody. My Instagram's at Dr. DOCTOR .mortgage Moreno. Dr. .mortgage Moreno. So DM, text, whatever you need, I got you. And if I ain't got you, I probably know someone that can get you.
There you guys have it. So doctors, meaning if you're ready for some therapy, call Chris because he has your back. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for just being here, present with us, and just sharing all this knowledge. I'm sure that there's someone out there that just needed to hear this. And don't forget, if you're watching this on YouTube and now you want to start hearing it on the road, we're also on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. So make sure that you subscribe and also share with your friends, family, or anyone that is thinking of creating or just joining the journey of creating a business, because that's what we're here to do, is to help one potential business owner at a time by just being able to share ideas and thoughts like the one that Chris shared with us today. Thank you, Chris.
You got it. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I hope you're enjoying the Journey podcast. And before this episode ends, I got some bad and good news for everyone. The bad news is that you are actually listening to the last episode of our podcast. The good news, though, is that it's actually the last episode of this season. We are going to be taking a small break, and no worries, we're going to be right back as soon as the World Cup has finished. So we hope to see you back here on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, wherever it is that you're listening to us. And don't forget, our goal is really to just help inspire and help anyone that is thinking about joining the business world. That's what we're here to do. So make sure you share and subscribe, because the upcoming guests that we have lined up are going to completely blow your mind. So hope to see you guys soon here in the second season. Don't forget, right after the World Cup, we're going to be right back.